Focus is crucially on action as extraordinary security meeting summoned by President Muhammadu Buhari resumes. National Assembly also comes up with moves to aid security agencies as states close ranks against acts and actors promoting insecurity. Also on Political Update today, Nigerian youths canvass support for anti-corruption efforts, identify corruption as fueling disharmony within the country. We have happenings from different political platforms as Anambra nears its date with destiny. I am Fisayo Ogunfuyi. Welcome. The extraordinary meeting summoned by President Muhammadu Buhari on national security has been reconvened on Tuesday. The NTA understands that the meeting is critically analyzing the prevailing challenges of security bedeviling the country. The House of Representatives has set up a special committee on national security with a mandate to come up with recommendations on the nation's security.
40-member Special Security Committee, chaired by the House Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila, is to work with other stakeholders to articulate solutions that will respond effectively to challenges of insecurity in Nigeria. As the inauguration, the Speaker said a conference will be convened next month to enable comprehensive study of all issues pertaining to national security.
At the end of it, recommend innovative, practical solutions that can help to relieve us of our present national security and challenges. We must recognize the need to proceed with caution and wisdom so that as we respond to existing problems, we do not further compound them or create new difficulties.
Meanwhile, in Kaduna State, the State Security Council has returned to the drawing board to effectively combat kidnapping and other forms of crime in the state.
Records presented to the State Security Council members indicate that a total of more than 949 persons, including minors and women, were kidnapped at various locations across Kaduna State between January and now. Governor Nasir Ahmad El-Rufai says it was high time to stop politicizing security issues.
The bandits are getting bolder by the day, inching closer and moving from rural communities even to urban communities. Our schools are being attacked and the students being executed by these bandits. In Greenfield University, we've lost 5 students that were killed in cold blood by these evil people. We still have 29 students of Federal College of Mechanization, Afaka, in custody. And by the grace of God, if we all come together, work together, collaborate together, and pray for God's guidance, we'll get out of this.
The state government remains committed to sustaining strategies of addressing security challenges facing the state, particularly kidnapping. A quarterly security report reveals that in spite of this ugly development, security agencies are recording successes against the bandits, with about 64 suspects neutralized, while arms and several rounds of ammunition have been recovered.
The People's Democratic Party is calling for the establishment of state police and national borders protection system as part of efforts to confront threats to the nation's security and stability.
This media briefing, attended by some governors on the PDP platform, National Working Committee, Board of Trustees and its leadership at the National Assembly, followed series of meetings and consultations on the state of the nation, according to National Chairman Prince Uche Secondus. Devolution of powers to states and lower tier of government, need for urgent amendments to the Constitution and the Electoral Act were among recommendations made towards moving the country forward.
States where matters of national security challenges originate or exist should be invited to the National Security Council meeting for deliberation and problem-solving interactions.
On the upsurge in acts of terrorism, kidnappings, killings and attacks on security personnel and other forms of violence across some parts of the country, the party's leadership maintained that Nigerians are better together.
We are committed on this path. This is the time to tell Nigerians that we are putting aside our being in opposition. No one in Nigeria wants Nigeria to break up.
The leadership of the party further urged Nigerians to shun party differences, tribe, religion and ethnicity, and give peace a chance.
To our discussion now, a recent study leads to consequences of insecurity on a nation to include the disruption of economic activities, a decimation of consumer confidence, decrease in foreign direct investment, disproportionate spending vis-a-vis other economic sectors, the struggle for personal survival which undermines innovation, increase in brain drain, perverse incentives, and decline in productivity. Nigeria is no doubt in a struggle to rid its land of outlaws and currently firefighting terror, banditry, kidnapping, and sundry acts of violence in different parts of the country. How can we douse these fires apart from military force? Former Deputy Governor of Abia State, Dr. Akomas, joins us today on Political Update. Doctor, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
The first question will be, negotiation, dialogue, force, incentives. What can work in this long-drawn battle with outlawry?
Thank you, Fisher. I am happy, one, that we all seem to now be on the same page, and that page is recognizing that criminality cannot be described by any other name or clothed in any other form than seeing it as it is, as criminality. Now that people across the board, irrespective of political divide, religious divide, have seen and agreed that this is criminal actions that must be tackled. It is not political party A or B or religion A or B. That is the beginning. To answer your question succinctly, all the options are necessary. All the options. Where there is need to use carrot, apply carrot. Where there is need to apply the stick, apply the stick. Where there is need to dialogue, of course. For everything, dialogue is always the option that produces the best result. So I will say that all the options are necessary, and no one option can solve and resolve these problems. And if there is need to apply force, for goodness sake, apply the force. What are they doing? They are using force. They are terrorizing people. They are frightening people. I listened to someone who was, quoting one of the quotes of Donald Trump, that he's a good man with a gun that can stop a bad man with a gun. So when all the good men are kept behind and they don't have the force, and the bad guys have the force, of course, they will, it's like you come out, when in those days at the village square, there used to be wrestling, there used to be test of strength. And if you've agreed to wrestle, or you don't even agree, you come out like we used to come out of school and somebody will be waiting for you on the road to test strength or to fight you. And that person is not fighting you openly without any instrument, but has something. If the person has even a knife or a cutlass, my brother, you will first take to your heels before you think of what to do. But if it's ordinary, okay, face me, I face you, let us try our human strength. Of course, you will try. If you will succeed in putting me on the floor, I'll get up and clean my head of the, sand. But if I succeed now, I'll give you some grass to eat. Abi? And this is government, for goodness sake. The fatherly role of considering and seeing everybody, which is proper, as your children, you must know that in a family there will be some children that will go off the line, and the first thing to do is not to use excessive force or this thing, or just hate them for
but
that.
the situation
You try to bring them back to know that they are members of a family and should live according to the values. But if they refuse, then you apply the rod. That is what it is. And I think the issue now has gone beyond that level where we should we apply all the options, where people understand that there is need for them to abandon criminality, then we treat them as but where they don't, you show them where to be.
And let's look at, for instance, what has been happening, especially when you look at, the Southeast, and we have elections, off-cycle elections coming in Anambra State, for instance. Some of these challenges could also, lead to voter apathy. If you know that, there will be violence erupting one way or the other, what should we be doing as politicians, especially going towards those elections, off-cycle elections, as it were, in terms of, sensitizing the public as to what to do, especially from the party, direction now, especially now that we also heard from one of the parties talking about the issue of everybody come to the table. It's not a matter of you versus me. What should we be doing?
Thank you. Off-cycle election, yes, that is what is on the front burner for a state like Anambra. But the major thing before us, and even before the elections, is to ensure that sanity is brought back. Whether it is for those who are going to contest, or for the clergymen, the religious leaders, the focus now should be on, preaching peace and need for people to understand and appreciate the sanctity of human life. That somebody wakes up, you go and burn a government agency or a police station and thinks that is showing strength. That doesn't. Again, don't forget that we are talking of the off-cycle election. 2023 is also, around the corner. So in politics, a number of things happen. But woe betide anybody that hopes, works, sponsors, features in any way, and believes that the only way for him or her to show power is by taking the life of others. And recent happenings, lives of our youths and young ones, and even those that we have spent money, our taxpayers' money, to train, to recruit, to equip, to protect us, that they are the front, liners, attack them, frighten them, so that the populace will be cowed in order for that person to achieve power or to get into a position. Woe betide that person, because that person is not only going into destruction of self and his generation, but many generations after him. So it is time for people to know that as they desire this power, as one wants to occupy a position, the first thing to think about is, I think, let's just recap the statement of our former president, Goodluck Jonathan, who said that his ambition was not good enough for the life of any Nigerian to be lost. So now that we have all agreed to work together, come together, let people be objective, genuine in these pronouncements. We working together, moving together, we will achieve success. It's not going to be easy, because over the years, people have been playing politics with security. Over the years, people have been playing politics with religion. Over the years, people have been playing politics of tribe on things and matters that involve security and lives of Nigerians. Now that people have come out to say, we have seen that this is not the way to go, let us genuinely work towards that. Not to come and tell us, oh, this is that, and then turn back and be doing something else. Because unless we go together, put our strengths together, work against the force that is threatening us, what I see, and indeed what is around us, is not good for one to even imagine.
Let's take some stories from the party stables very quickly. The movement of Progressive Youth of Nigeria, one of the former support groups of the All Progressives Congress, requests that the National Assembly enact an act to pronounce corruption a capital offense to serve as deterrent to looters of public funds. This was part of recommendations made at the end of the Youth Leadership Colloquium in Abuja.
Muhammadu Buhari in 2015 took over the leadership of Nigeria with a promise to fight corruption as one of the major targets of his administration. This colloquium, organized by the movement of Progressive Youth of Nigeria, assessed the anti-corruption fight so far and concluded that government has made successes in the war against corruption and brazen looting, which were hitherto done openly.
In an effort to ensure that the anti-corruption success is sustained, the youth must be considered as a strategic partner in the war against corruption and efforts for national prosperity.
Corruption is a very serious problem which should be fought to a standstill.
For me, it starts from us, from where we work, what we do.
With the theme sustaining the Buhari leadership style of anti-corruption as a political culture in Nigeria, the place of progressive youth in the new Nigeria, APC National Youth Leader Ismail Ahmed and other speakers reminded Nigerians that President Buhari has always remained an advocate of positive change, with the introduction of war against indiscipline, even as military head of state in the past years.
I've always believed that corruption is a byproduct of indiscipline. All previous administrations profess or pretend to fight corruption.
The colloquium enjoined Nigerians to vote in credible people into office in the next round of elections for consolidation of the present administration's legacies.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the All Progressives Congress Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee and governor of Yobe State, Mai Mala Buni, has challenged Nigerians' non-career ambassadors to brace up in building relationships and project the image of Nigeria in a positive light to the outside world.
Having been cleared by the National Assembly and posted to their respective countries of primary assignment, the ambassadors are here to interact with the leadership of the APC and recommit themselves to service of the party and the country. Governor Mai Mala Buni says, in view of the security challenges, the ambassadors should explore collectively their capabilities to finding solutions to the challenges facing the country and strengthen the relationship between Nigeria and their host countries.
The party also looks forward to a very positive working synergy with your excellencies in the interests of Nigeria and her citizens. On this note, I am happy to inform you that the party has agreed to set up a desk office for the purpose of liaising with the non-career ambassadors. In this regard, we request that you furnish the National Secretariat with details of your coordinating secretariat.
We are sure that our appointment is a call to service. We will serve the party with faithfulness, sincerity, and must work to ensure that the party constitution is upheld. Hence, we are aware that party interests prevails over our individual interests.
As the governing party, the APC, he says, is deeply concerned and interested in healthy relationship between Nigeria and international community.
All right, let's take it from the youth colloquium. They're talking about, just like you said earlier, looking at 2023 already, and are talking about, first of all, looking for credible leaders with track record before you even try to endorse anyone. Are you agreeing with the youth, for instance? Yes, ma'am.
It's not whether I am happy that they are echoing what we've been saying. I remember, I think I recall in the past program here, I have always complained and said that Our major problem in this country is the leadership recruitment process. And that process tend to throw up and give opportunities for those who play it rough no matter what. And so, men of honor and integrity, people who genuinely want to serve, find it difficult to understand why they should engage in certain actions just to offer service which they want to offer in honesty, objectively, and selflessly. So, it is a good thing because part of the system that throws up this and forces the hands of the others to have to do with the youth too. Because what are the forces that are used during, yes, outside the other intrigues and maneuvers that go? Well, out there, what happens? Who are the ones that carry politicians from Congress and the primary election grounds and throw them across fence? They are the youth. It's not the elderly people. Somebody tells you, you see that man, his influence is too much. Go and carry him and throw him away so that we can have a field day. You do it. Somebody tells you, as people are voting, go and scatter that vote because I can see that the people voting, they are voting for the other person. You go and scatter it. So I'm happy that the youths have recognized the importance of, you see the level of lawlessness most times can be very upsetting. Either out of ignorance or sheer mischievousness, or self-aggrandizement, people tend to find pleasure in disobeying set rules. And when you talk of corruption, it starts from there. Look at when you drive on the Abuja road. If you are not careful and you believe the traffic light has given me the green and you just move, you'll be in for it because some people just refuse to obey. You'll be waiting for the light to give you the sign. Others will come from behind. Shh. What is that? That is not the president. That is not the minister or the governor telling people to do that. Somebody just feels, why should I wait for just 30 seconds or a minute? I have to move. Others should wait. Let them continue to wait. That attachment of me knowing it all and having it better starts it all. And that, again, when you talk of corruption, I gave you an analogy of people. Somebody you
in
have,
about a minute.
Yes, you have your own soup. You have the meat inside it. You have, instead of eating, you are looking at your brother's soup and the meat there. That meat is big, that fish is big. Instead of appreciating what God has given to you, let us begin to be contented with what God has given to us and where we are. Then corruption will be taken care of.
All right, on that note, I just have to be contented with these words so that we'll come back again on Friday. That has been Dr. Chris Akomas, Deputy Governor, former Deputy Governor of Abia State, giving us his own view of recent happenings and, of course, the forecast politically for the rest of the year. My name is Fisayo Gunfi. Thanking you for watching Political Update for today. We'll be back, God willing, on Friday and urging you to keep it locked on the Nigerian Television Authority, where we give you the very best of news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye now.